Hey, what's up guys, aarava here, and welcome back to the episode of my F1 Road to Glory series in 2020. Last time out, I think it's safe to say we had a race of two halves, I think. See how things go, but we're now going to catch up to the safety car as we nearly just drive straight into it. Bert Mylander, Bert, mate, what on earth are you doing? We're going to come through for first place at the Italian Grand Prix, the redemption from last race, and the victory at our favourite circuit. And now we come to the Singapore Grand Prix. This one is going to be the exact opposite of Italy. We're not going to have a strong car, I don't feel. The car is, better in the corners than it used to be, maybe in seasons 1 and 2, but it's still, a bit of an issue. So we're going to have to see how it goes and just hope for the best, but I don't think getting a 1-2 in qualifying will be expected of us. But we have some very, very exciting news to announce this episode. So, of course, you guys would have seen in 2 episodes ago, we lost our main title sponsor, Rocket, off the car. Sponsors are still there on the team kit and the helmet, because that's far too much money for Williams to spend in one go on that. We don't have the budget for that. But what we do have the budget for now is to re-sticker the car, because I'm happy to announce we've got a minty fresh new sponsor on the car. Yes, it's been a long time coming, and finally the jokes are paying out as we have got Colgate to sponsor our car. So we'll be going out there and repping the minty fresh experience on track. The toothpaste bottle on wheels is now actually a toothpaste bottle of advertising on wheels. I mean, look at it. It looks stupendous. There's no other, actually, you know what? There's no other way to say it, but it looks biblical. It looks absolutely biblical. I mean, the Colgate logo, it's just meant to be. Just meant to be there. So, fabulous stuff. Our car looks exquisite. I think that's the only other third word I can really explain it by. So, very happy stuff. Very positive stuff going into this one. No rain as well, which is good, because I was getting a bit of PTSD that we're going to have a monsoon, bit of rain at Singapore. That apparently never works out really well if you look at real life. Carl's trying to email us about next year's R&D regulation change. Frankly, don't care at all, because we're not here to talk about next year, okay? This is now, alright? We're living in the now, we're living in the present, and right now, we're leading the championship. There is no way I'm even thinking about next year and making next year's car great, because I'm looking to round out the championship and get the job done. If you think I am driving the Williams car for a 4th season on a different F1 game later this year, you're sadly mistaken. Alright, qualifying time then, flying towards turn 1 with, you can clearly see our brand new Colgate stickering on the halo as well. Turn 1 pretty decent, but then through turns 2 and 3, the back end stepping out, and we're nearly in the wall. I was literally pixels away from probably being out of qualifying with a crash there, as the rear end was trying to step towards China and not remain in Singapore. As we catch up a little bit though, as we go through the old, where the old Singapore sling was, and we're up into P10, then down to P16 as it is through the last corner, getting some more time again, and then finishing up in P11 it will be.
It's a bit disappointing, but we just need to push hard in the race and we can still come away with something.
And yeah, it is disappointing, because I felt like without the mistake at turn 3, we could have potentially been right up there. Gasly has done a great job in P3. I feel like we should have been there. So, in the words of Graham Souness when he's talking about Paul Pogba, I've got to be doing better there. I've just got to. I mean, the car actually had some okay grip. So, it's actually not too horrendous. We can have a decent race, I feel. P11 is not where we deserve to be, so race pace wise we've always gone a little bit better. And also remember, with DRS, we know the car is good in a straight line no matter what, even though I feel like I have compromised the wings quite a fair bit, so that will be a worry, because I basically gone with 11-11 wings because I just thought this car was going to be so bad otherwise in the corners, but that might compromise us a bit too much on the straights. Hopefully not, but I have a bad feeling about that, but we're just going to have to roll with the punches and see how we do, really. It's going to be a one-stop, as per usual, softer to the medium, so let's not delay it then and get going towards 5 red lights to this Singapore Grand Prix, and we're underway. What can we do from P11? Let's find out, and straight off the bat, we've caused a massive accident there, as 2 cars have gone up in confetti there behind us. We've continued on with no damage to our own car, which is very strange indeed, as George Russell is out along with Nico Hulkenberg, I think that was, in the Haas, so we're lucky to still be in this race then, as we try and close up to, well, his teammate, Hulkenberg's teammate, Ricciardo, in the other Haas car, side by side, and oh, Ricciardo nearly makes it 3 wide there, maybe through that curve. Very, very close stuff. We close up into the next left-hander, already seeing that Ricardo's being bunched up behind the Mercedes of Sergio Perez. So we dive down the inside of the Australian and really get the elbows out to squeeze him out. We're up into P10 then, so some progress nonetheless, but not as much as I was hoping for. And already I can tell maybe we're a little bit slower than I wanted to be on the straights due to that compromise in the setup. But look at this. Oh, that is... I feel really bad for Hulkenberg, to be honest. I feel very bad for Hulkenberg. And also George Russell, because he got completely unawares. He got brake checked to no end from Hulkenberg, slowing down and having no front right tyre there. I'm actually very shocked, though. Our rear left is still intact. So, I don't know. Maybe the Colgate money's paying off already. And we've actually got some structural integrity to the suspension arms this time around the cars. Not made with Prix stick. And so as we close up then to the Mexican in the Mercedes car on lap number 2. But you can see, you know, the one thing we had about this car is pretty much gone on the straights. Like, we're still closing up a little bit, but we used to be able to fly past these cars like we did in Italy. You know, we have a look around the outside, and actually, I'm actually looking okay, better in the corners than I am in the straights, ironically, right now, against Sergio Perez. He's looking very slow in that Mercedes car, for sure. So, again, closing up and having to almost, you know, stamp on the brakes to make sure we don't crash into him. So, we're going to go and absolutely send it with a horrendous dive bomb, and we've absolutely pulled his pants down there, up into P9, embarrassing for the works Mercedes. Oh no! Oh no, that's not. That's not actually just happened. Oh no! Oh dearie me, no! It was all going so. I said I pulled his pants down, and then I had my pants pulled down. Oh, we got it so badly wrong there. Where was the downforce on that left-hander? I broke way too late. And, oh, that crash was the slowest crash for me in the cockpit. Like, as we went towards the wall, life slowed down before my eyes, and then we just made contact, and the front wing's off. So, the virtual safety car's out. We're in now for a pit stop to change our front wing. We're going to strap on a set of medium tyres, and this will be to go to the end of the Grand Prix. The only saving grace here is, like I said, there's a virtual safety car that's on right now. So, I picked under the virtual safety car, and you would have seen I was just only about a second or two behind the last car of the pack. So although I've come out in what is essentially last place on the road, I am the only car to make essentially a free sort of pit stop, because remember, under a virtual safety car, everyone is at the same speed of this slower speed. So I've gained time effectively on everyone making this pit stop. So although we have just crashed and we've lost our front wing mid and very early pit stop on lap number 3, we've got 12 long laps to go at Singapore here, so it's not over yet, and we just need to keep on pushing hard and try to recover as best we can, and we're doing that on lap number 4 onto 5. We set the fast lap of the Grand Prix, so you can see how the tyre wear is kicking in for everyone on the soft tyres, and in clean air, I'm flying on these mediums, so much so that as we move on to lap number 6, look at this, we have just overtaken Lando Norris there. We're behind Max Verstappen in the Red Bull. These guys were 3-4 cars ahead of me, but at the point I'd overtaken Sergio Perez. So, you know what? No, I take it back. My pants haven't been pulled out. This is actually secretly the biggest 200 IQ play you could have ever hoped for. Once again, my genius in the Williams car knows no bounds, because look at this, we've just overtaken Gasly. We've just done our teammate. He was up in P3 or 4 in this Grand Prix, and now we're ahead of him in the Singapore Grand Prix. I am actually a genius. Everyone, bow down to my strategy prowess. This is biblical. That's the only word I can say once again as we now move on to lap number 8, and we're closing up to Verstappen. We gain more positions. We're up into a podium position. Are you kidding me? A podium. We've gone from crashing, having our front wing off, to last place, to the point. This has been a roller coaster of an episode. Colgate, you've had an absolute corker of an episode to sponsor the car for. Okay, there's the toothpaste is going to be flying off the shelves now from your local Tesco or other stores are available. And now we go side by side around the outside of Verstappen to try and get P2 in the GP now. Verstappen, though, with the better downforce, round the outside, then goes and defends his position. He gets a great entry to the next corner. Practically pushes us into the wall there. Massive amount of oversteer as the rear end snaps laps. Of course, remember, I am going to face way more tyre wear than everyone around me. And Gasly, despite me overtaking him, is right on the back of me now and is pressurising me straight away. So that's going to be something to think about. Although I am in a position here, I tried to overtake Verstappen now, but now quickly my mind switched on to defending against Gasly because he's looking very quick, and you can see the pace difference is really dropping off now as I've had to defend against Gasly through the entire lap so far on lap number 8 on to 9. Again going defensive to the inside. We really squeezed Gasly into the apex, but he's still got the nose in there. So Gasly is not giving up. My teammate is not one to step down to a challenge, and he's up into P3 now. He's done us, and we've got nothing to defend because remember, we don't have the same speed in a straight line. We opened DRS, but look at the difference of speed there. Gasly without DRS waltzes away, so I've compromised the downforce way too much there, and the straight line speed way too much, and I've just gone too extreme on the wings. I've left myself vulnerable to the one thing I had going for me in this entire season, as we narrowly missed the wall on the left-hand side and only just defend against Valtteri Bottas here. So this is, oh, virtual safety car though. I was about to say nerve-wracking times. Now it's a little bit less nerve-wracking because we've got a bit of time to relax now, as Valtteri Bottas is out of the Grand Prix. Albon crashed into him as well. Don't know what went on there, but a massive kerfuffle's got a second virtual safety car out in this GP now. And this is why then, on board with Albon in the Mercedes car, Bottas ahead of him hits the wall with the rear right, and Albon doesn't actually crash straight into him, but gets held up there. And that's why the virtual safety car is out, as Bottas is out of another GP. I think his second DNF in 3 episodes now for him there with the rear right off. And so it looks like everyone else, you know, everyone's got poorer. Their suspensions are just faltering, and mine, we saw earlier, is rock solid. I mean, the front wing's a little bit less solid, but the suspension's there, so beautiful stuff. But for us now, it's a case of how long can we remain in P5 then, having been overtaken by Gasly. But oh my god! Behind me, Leclerc and Norris get into a massive crash, and Norris, that's a huge impact for him as he's sent sideways, both tyres off, the rear tyre sheared as he tried to overtake Leclerc. Leclerc pinched him into the wall, and now we've got that very man closing up to us. Sorry, it wasn't for P5, for P4 I'm trying to defend, but here he comes. I'm trying to squeeze him. Altoveri, that he seems to be on a mission, and he's not afraid to take me out if he wants to get that P4 there in that Ferrari car. So lap number 12, we've got about 4 laps to go in this Grand Prix. Can we hang on to P4? Not too sure though, because the tyres, I mean, look at the understeer. I'm just getting through that right-hander. I've missed the apex completely by a mile there. And then with overtake mode and rich mix, still that Ferrari's flying at us as we've just lost all the advantage we've had in previous episodes. He goes around the outside. I can't do anything mid-corner to try and defend because I've got no tyres compared to him, and the front end is pretty much just unresponsive now as we come through to this second last lap of the Grand Prix, just about holding on to Sergio Perez in that Mercedes, the man who I dive bombed from so far back in the first stint in this race. He's now trying to get revenge on me perhaps as he's closing up, but we've got one more lap to go. Can I keep it going as we're now in the second half of the last lap of this Singapore Grand Prix, and we're still in P5 by a whisker. Perez keeping the pressure on behind as we, oh no, we've nicked the left hand. How's that happened? We barely tapped the wall. The front wing really is fragile. I don't know what's going on here. I think all the strength's gone away from the front wing and just entered the suspension arms, because now we've got a red front left-hand side of the front wing. And so I thought this car was an absolute HCV bus before. I mean, look at it now. We've got no sense of turning. And Perez, is he going to make a dive at some point? Look at how slow I am as we double lock up. And oh, we've had to really push him out there and be a little bit naughty against Perez as Sebastian Vettel wins the Singapore Grand Prix. But look how slow I'm going. I am literally an F3 car at this point. Even worse, I'm literally a Fiat 500 at this point. They're the ones I mocked at Italy that we're overtaking so quickly in a straight line. I am now them through these corners, as literally going full lock to try and get this nose turned in, as we're going to literally limp across and block Perez to the line for P5.
Great drive, great drive. We're really happy with that performance.
And you know what, all things considered, I'll take that compliment, because I feel like it was, you know, we did finesse the bag, let's be real. We crashed out early with the front wing off. We got very lucky with the virtual safety car. So the fact that I was even fighting for a podium, let alone P5, was amazing in this Grand Prix. So that is a real nice turnaround and the best we could have hoped for.
You really cut your way through the field today. What was your strategy?
Yeah, I mean, let's be real, Claire. The only reason we cut our way through the field was the virtual safety car. So I've got to thank the FIA. I love the charity cause. I really like that they're also up for that.
Do you think you were lucky not to end your race with that crash?
Yes, I was. I was very lucky not to end that crash, but the reason why is all thanks to our new title sponsor, Colgate. You know, you brush your teeth, you have strong teeth, and that results in a strong car as well, I feel.
Appreciate your time.
Just have to get that cheeky plug in, of course. Got to make the corporate guys happy as much as we can here, especially with their new sponsors. Got to make them very, very happy indeed, because they're already pissed off with the fact that we still have Rocket sponsoring everywhere else on the team. But, needs must. We don't have the budget for it, like I mentioned. So, at the end of that, then, we still lead the championship. We're now 25 points ahead of both Verstappen and Gasly. So, they're still sort of in that, one calamity of a race coming up, and then we're in issues. So we've got to keep our wits about us. We've got to be, I was going to say, got to be alert on these circuits, but we weren't exactly alert in the first. Let's say about that in the better. But we've done a fantastic job to recover from that crash and show tremendous team spirit, I think. So in that regard, I think a positive episode. So guys, if you did enjoy that one, then be sure to hit that like button. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. If you're new around here, then do get subscribed for weekly full-on content. I'm aarava. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of the day. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.